First year and sophomore students often ask, what do I need to do in order to get into law school? Essentially, how do I put myself on the pre-law track? This presentation is meant to answer that question. So first, you must do two things. One, get good grades. People generally ask how good. The answer is really good. The grades you need depend on the school to which you're applying, but the top law schools have average GPAs of over 3.8. Now, that's the average. It doesn't mean that if your GPA isn't a 3.8, you're not going to get in. The point is you should get the absolute best grades that you possibly can. Second, you need to develop relationships with professors. When you apply to law school, you'll ultimately need 2 letters of recommendation from academic sources. And so start developing those relationships now so that in a couple of years, when you ask for the letter of recommendation, the professor has lots of great things to say about you. Apart from that, you can really do whatever you want. I know that is both liberating and frustrating, but let's look at this in a couple of different contexts. So first of all, course selection. Law school students come from every academic major. My advice is study what interests you, because if you're engaged, you will excel, and law schools want excellence. The American Bar Association, when confronted with this question, listed out some core skills. This is just a sampling of them. Skills that students should be developing in undergrad if they want to go to law school. Looking at this list, I would challenge you to find a class at Georgetown where you're not developing at least one of these skills. I'll also say that traditionally, law school students have come from a handful of majors, primarily within the humanities, but increasingly STEM is in very high demand in the legal field. So really, you can't say anymore that the best major, if you want to go to law school, is government or philosophy. Really, every conceivable major, whether it's computer science, chemistry, or English, is in high demand in the legal field. As far as internships go, bottom line here, you don't need to be a paralegal, okay? Law schools are law schools. They will give you all the law that you need. What they're looking for are really transferable skills, and you're not necessarily developing those transferable skills like research, writing, critical thinking as a paralegal. Maybe you are, but not necessarily. Now, if you want to be a paralegal, if you want exposure to the law, if you're curious to know what the industry is like, that's fine. But many people feel like because they want to go to law school, they have to work as a paralegal. It's one of the only jobs you can get with legal in the title before you're a lawyer. That's simply not the case. And these quotes here from admissions officers illustrate that. As you're thinking about the sort of internship you want, ask yourself what you need that coursework can't provide. If you're interested in a field of law that requires a lot of client contact, something direct services related, then maybe your internships should focus on you developing interpersonal skills. If you're interested in a field of law that is all research, if you're interested, for example, in appellate advocacy, where you're appealing cases and working by yourself 99% of the time, then maybe your internship should have focused research. So an internship where you are researching one topic 8 to 12 hours a day. Those are the kinds of questions that you'd want to ask yourself as you are exploring internship possibilities. Again, to return to the bottom line, you need to get good grades, you need to develop relationships with professors, but beyond that, take whatever courses interest you and engage in whatever internships interest you.